How smart people handle toxic people. Are you tired of being around people who drain your energy all the time? We are going to talk about how emotional intelligence and being bold can help you defend yourself today. Tools. Sign up and click the bell to make sure you don't miss our life-changing ideas, the way you live, and how you feel about yourself. How to handle toxic relationships on social media. In this digital age, interacting through social media has become an important way for people to talk to each other. Because of this, smart people have used these platforms carefully to manage their relationships they think is harmful. This kind of management includes doing a bunch of things on purpose to keep your own emotions in check. Health and happiness. At first glance, changing the privacy settings seems like an important step. By choosing who can see their posts and interactions, these people set up a filter that limits access to their personal information, which makes it less likely that unwelcome or invasive words. Also, being very selective about the things they share and the people they talk to. Another way to protect yourself is to be online. By choosing to only share moments and thoughts with people who are positive and supportive, they make their mental support networks stronger. Lastly, blocking or muting bad accounts is a more direct and an important step. This not only keeps you from being exposed to bad encounters, but it's also a way to stand up for yourself and set personal limits in the vastness of the internet. So, this digital management of social ties is more than just a tool, it's an important part of life. Way to keep your mental health in good shape in a world that is full of information, excesses and exchanges that aren't deep. When you think about this situation, it's clear that social media, while useful for global link, need to be handled carefully and deliberately as well. Managing digital relationships is an important skill to have in today's world, reflecting the complexity of modern interactions and drawing attention to how important it is to use technology in a way that respects personal space and supports mental health. Recognizing and fighting gaslighting. The idea of gaslighting, a sneaky method of psychological trickery that makes people doubt their own sense of reality or sanity of reality, is getting more and more attention in mental health conversations. This way of controlling someone, which is common in abusive situations, aims to make the victim less stable and give the manipulator more mental control over them. People who are smart and well-informed are becoming more aware of these signs of gaslighting. They learn to spot common tricks that manipulators use, like denying something over and over again, of events that can be proven to be true or undervaluing the victim's feelings. Because they know these signs, these people take steps to reaffirm their reality and keep their minds healthy. One of the best things that can be done is to validate their own thoughts and feelings. This could mean keeping detailed records of talks and events that can be used as proof, against the attacker's efforts to change the truth. Also, looking for proof from outside sources becomes a basic habit. This can include talking to trusted co-workers or friends who can give an outside view and an objective point of view that either supports or contradicts the person's beliefs. In more serious cases, it's very important to have the help of mental health workers. Psychologists and therapists not only offer a safe place to talk and understand, but they also help people change of events, but also give people ways to deal with and finally get over the effects of tricking people. This search for expert help can be the key to regaining trust and control over one's own thoughts. This knowledge and the acts that followed show that people really understand how important mental health is, a basic part of general health and happiness. So, fighting gaslighting not only keeps the person safe, but also encourages a more aware and caring society where tricks of influence are seen for what they are and not accepted. This knowledge and action against gaslighting show how information and assertiveness work together, are strong ways to fight back against different kinds of emotional and mental abuse. How to get around in toxic workplaces. Getting around in toxic workplaces is a big problem that a lot of workers have to deal with these days. These situations can make relationships with other people marked by harmful actions like disrespect, control, and manipulation, all of which hurt not only work, but also mostly the mental health of the people concerned. People who are smart and strong come up with and use effective ways to deal with the bad things that these settings do. Communication that is clear and direct is one of the key strategies. Directly and politely expressing oneself can help keep hopes realistic and clear up any confusion before it gets worse and leads to a fight. Such a method not only encourages openness, but also helps create a mindset of respect for each other. Setting professional limits is also very important. Setting clear rules for what is and isn't okay to do at work helps protect the person against harm and keep their attention on their work duties. One way to do this is to know when to say no and protect one's own time and resources from expectations that are too high or not right for them. When personal problems are too much for a person to handle, they should get help from human tools, or thinking about making changes to the team may be needed. The idea behind HR offices is that they should step in and help solve problems when they arise. Keeping rules about business behavior in check. Changing teams or even departments may be the best way to get away from someone in some situations, from a bad atmosphere, and find a new one that is healthy and exciting. Being able to work in toxic settings is an important skill for anyone to have. A professional's work. People not only protect their health by using these tactics, but they also make the workplace healthier and more effective by doing what you can. This shows a deep understanding of how important the standard of the workplace is, as important to success as academic and professional know-how. Emotional intelligence and resilience. Emotional intelligence means being able to. It is now understood that people can understand, control, and react to their own feelings and the emotions of others, as a skill that is important in both personal and business life. People who work on this skill are better able to deal with problems and difficulties, contacts, especially in places where there are a lot of problems and bad behavior. Emotional intelligence starts with being self-aware, which means being able to see and understand one's own feelings as they happen. This helps the person understand how their feelings affect the things they do and choose, and how this might impact other people. The next step is self-management, which means stopping or rerouting disturbing behaviors, impulses and feelings while staying cool and objective, even when things get tough. Emotional intelligence also includes empathy, which is the capacity to understand how other people feel. This skill is very important for making good connections with other people, which lets better and more sensitive conversation. Lastly, social skills, like being able to deal with conflicts, lead others, and motivate, or, when you have a lot of emotional intelligence, you can affect other people more. Emotionally intelligent people use these skills to spot people who are harmful and dishonest, traits in other people, and come up with ways to handle these situations well. Not only do they protect their mental health, but they also help make the world a better place and a more efficient setting. Emotional endurance, which is improved by learning emotional intelligence, lets these people to keep your balance and stay focused even when things are going badly. So putting money into improving emotional intelligence is a smart and responsible thing to do. The plan. It not only gets someone ready to deal with the complicated and often stressed world we live in, but it also makes it possible for people to have deeper and more meaningful interactions with each other. in a skilled way. Putting money into self-awareness and social skills is one of the keys to a happier life. And a happy life. Codependency is a relationship pattern in which one person depends on another person for support, is too dependent on another person's feelings or actions, often at the cost of their own. They put the other person's needs and health last to care for them. At first look, this dynamic may seem good, but it is often harmful and can't last. For everybody involved. People who are smart and aware of the risks of codependency try to notice and change their beliefs, how they relate to each other in these ways. Being aware of yourself is the first step in this process. By being aware of the symptoms of codependency, like having trouble saying no, or being afraid of upsetting someone, and putting the wants of others ahead of their own, the person may start to question and change these ways of thinking. It is important too, in order to turn a codependent relationship into a healthy one. Set limits for yourself and follow them. For a relationship to be healthy and balanced, the limits must be clear and healthy. They help people figure out how far they're willing to go and what they're not willing to do, to accept, which means that healthy interdependence is more likely to happen than unilateral dependence. Also, conversation that is open and honest is essential. Clear communication about feelings, expectations and wants can help avoid misunderstandings and built-up resentments. It's also important that both people feel able to share their thoughts and worries without fear of being judged, with no fear of being hurt or turned down. Individuals who are involved in codependent relationships can also be helped. Of individual or couples therapy, where a trained professional can help you figure out and deal with the causes of codependency and learn better ways to interact with others. By using these methods, smart people not only make things better, but they also not only help their relationships, but also help them grow as people and emotionally. It takes courage and drive to break out of codependent patterns, but the end result is the creation of relationships that are better, more balanced, and make both people happy. Bringing attention to mental health. Getting more people to know about mental health has become a priority in a culture that understands the value of emotional health more and more. As people become more aware, smart and bold people take the lead in bringing attention to the relationship between your mind and emotions is important in every part of your life. These people are committed to teaching themselves and others about the bad effects bad relationships have on mental health. They talk about what they know about how bad interactions can cause problems like worry and depression and stress, how important it is to find and change these patterns. They also push people to do healthy things like therapy and practicing mindfulness, that are known to make the mind stronger and the mental strength stronger. Promoting open communication about mental health is another way to get rid of the shame that comes with seeing a professional. Please help. People who are knowledgeable and caring try to make places where talks can happen. It's normal and recommended to talk about your emotional and mental health. They say that talking about mental health problems in public can help break down walls that keep people alone, shame and guilt that keep people from getting the help they need. In addition, these people push for laws and institutional support that include everyone, that make it easier for people to get mental health tools at work and in school situations. They know that getting help from both the community and institutions is important for a better and more society with empathy. Taking these steps not only improves their own well-being, but also the well-being of others, but also encourage an attitude of kindness and helping each other. Raising knowledge about mental health is a goal that is good for everyone, making a community that is better educated, safer, and stronger. Being assertive versus being aggressive. Being assertive is different from being aggressive. Key to keeping relationships healthy, especially when working with people who might show bad actions. Being assertive means being able to say what you need, want, or think in a polite way, and sure of themselves without violating other people's rights. Aggression, on the other hand, means being rude or forceful, and rights are often violated. Of other people are ignored or broken. Smart people know how important it is to be bold as a way to communicate effectively. Tool. They can be honest about their thoughts and wants if they take an assertive stance, and honestly, but still showing respect for their thoughts and feelings. It's especially helpful to have this skill in places where power relations aren't even, or where there is a chance that disputes will get worse very quickly. There are a few important things you need to do to be bold. First, it's important to understand and be aware of your own limits. It's easier to set clear limits when you know how far you're ready to go and what you won't accept. Any kind of contact. Second, it's very important to communicate clearly. This means using exact language, keeping eye contact, and having an open and sure attitude. Good body language shows that you feel safe and respected. Also, constantly listening to and validating other people's feelings, even if you don't agree with them, is important for keeping the conversation positive. This practice not only makes relationships stronger, but also stops disagreements from getting worse. Letting both sides know they are being heard and understood. Finally, being able to stay cool and focused when feelings are running high is very important. Can make a big difference. People who are assertive can take a deep breath, think about what to say, and then act carefully, picking words that show what they mean without making people angry. Smart people not only protect their mental health by developing and practicing assertiveness and mental health, but they also help make the world a more polite and cooperative place. The environment. This means that assertiveness is not only a speaking skill, but also an important part for building good and useful relationships with other people. Why emotional detachment is important. Being able to mentally separate from toxic people is an important skill for keeping your mental health and peace of mind. This lack of attachment is not the same as indifference or lack of understanding. As a planned way to keep other people's actions or words from having a big impact effect on how someone feels emotionally. People with insight know how important it is to keep their feelings in check when interacting with others, with people who are dishonest or try to trick you. By working on emotional detachment, they try to keep an emotional space that lets them look at and react to things more clearly and less reactively. This hormonal balance helps them keep their mental health in good shape and make smarter choices that aren't affected by bad feelings as much. Developing mental detachment takes a lot of work. To begin, it's important to become self-aware by noticing your mental responses and figuring out what makes people feel very strongly about something. From there, methods can be used to work on not letting these reactions take over, like awareness, meditation, or just taking a moment to think before reacting to something that makes you angry. Changing your beliefs about other people is another important part of emotional detachment. This means realizing that you can only control how you react to other people, not how they act. That people who accept others may not feel the need to change others, which lets them focus on themselves, on how they feel and how they react. Also, it's important to set stronger personal limits. This could mean saying no more often, being clear about what you want and what you can't do, and pulling away. Getting away from people or events that are bad for you. These limits not only keep the person safe from mental harm, but they also help them respect themselves. And being aware of your own wants. Smart people not only protect themselves by building and practicing emotional detachment, they can find inner peace and make their minds better and more under control. They can do well when they are not in unhealthy situations. Strategies for mediation and conflict resolution. When dealing with poisonous people, there are times when effective communication is necessary, like at work or at family events. Mediation and other ways to solve conflicts become very important. People who are smart and well-planned use methods that not only manage but also reduce. Despite the problems, reduce worry and encourage people to work together. Negotiation, which means being able to come to an agreement, is one of these tactics. Talking to each other. To do this, there needs to be clear and honest conversation so that both sides can say what they think and what they need. Win-win approaches are used by skilled negotiators to find answers that work for everyone. Parties, so everyone feels like they've been heard and taken into account. Also, knowing why other people do what they do is important for solving problems well. When you figure out what makes someone act badly, whether it's a feeling of fear, want to be in charge, or not getting enough attention, you can get to the root of the problem, not just how it shows up. This knowledge can help people come up with responses and ideas that get to the root of the problem, needs, which will help the fight end in a more permanent way. Neutral arbitrators can also be very helpful when they are needed. In very tense cases, a neutral third party can help people talk to each other, between the parties, making sure that all points of view are taken into account and helping with negotiations, a plan that works for everyone. Lastly, it is very important to set clear personal limits during these times. Setting and sticking to clear limits helps protect your integrity and stops. When negotiating with tough people, it's easy to feel too much. Setting basic rules for encounters, like staying away from personal attacks and paying attention, may be part of this. On the problem at hand instead of your own flaws. People who use these tactics for mediation and conflict resolution are not smart. They are not only able to deal with toxic environments, but they also support healthier connections that are better. In this way, they help make the area a calmer and more productive place to work. People see disagreements as chances to learn and get better together. Focus on personal growth and self-development. People who are self-aware and have a lot of insight adopt a proactive attitude to their own growth and development, especially when it comes to with the problems that come up because of toxic interactions. The people involved didn't let the negative energies of these exchanges take over. Instead, they choose to see each struggle as a chance to learn and grow as a person. This method starts by shifting the focus from negative things happening in the outside world to personal growth. Each difficult exchange is not seen as an insurmountable problem, but as a chance to learn more, to improve interpersonal skills such as empathy, patience, and resilience. These events give you real-life chances to work on being assertive, setting limits, and dealing with conflicts, skills that are necessary for success and emotional well-being. In addition, these difficult situations teach us a lot about our own personalities and how they make you feel. By thinking about how they handle stress, people can find ways to get better and parts of their characters they want to improve or change. This could mean working on things like self-esteem, which is very important for not letting using other people's thoughts or deeds to judge your own worth. Putting money into your own growth can also look like more organized activities like joining at school, in training, or in therapy. Not only do these things give you the skills and information to deal with problems better, also make the support network stronger by talking to teachers and co-workers who have the same goals and values. Basically, smart people not only protect themselves by working on self-development, protect themselves from the damaging effects of unhealthy relationships, and learn how to handle other kinds of interactions in more areas of life with more trust and skill. They keep getting better because they see each task as a chance to grow. Not only themselves, but also their relationships with others, and making a good contribution to their neighborhood in a relevant way. Thanks for giving the material away. It can be hard to deal with poisonous people and places, and it's always helpful to look into different ways to improve mental health and relationships that are healthy. I'll check out the suggested ebook. It looks like a good way to learn more. Know about these things. Without a doubt, I will subscribe to the channel to find out about new material. Thank you for the helpful film, and see you next time.